that new CRM over there. Oh my gosh, look at what the new updates are with Canva. Oh, look at y'all. Today, let's break down systems and let's break down tools that we use in our studios to make our lives easier. But the question is, are they making your life easier? And are you taking those new shiny tools and integrating them with systems that actually are already working in your studio? Or are you taking them, throwing out your old system to the window, and trying these new tools and new systems in reckless abandon, right? I want to talk today about your systems, and are they currently all being held up here in your brain? Do you have clear and concise systems that you and your staff can follow and understand, and they're in place, right? And are you actually using them effectively inside your business? And how do we leverage them to create more free time, more money, and more freedom inside of your business? And so if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I always want to know who's here with me when we are having these chats. And if you know somebody who needs to be listening into this conversation, feel free to sprinkle the love around. That is the best gift that you can give to them and to me as well. I love joining y'all. And if you're new here and stumbled upon us somehow, I'm Erin Bird. I am a dance studio strategist, and I work with studio owners and dance educators just like you to grow your business without the overwhelm, the burnout, or sacrificing your personal lives, because you can have it all. You can have it all. So if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? I want to know that you are here as we dive in today and talk about assessing your systems. And what does that really mean here in your studio? And if you would like a copy of today's show notes and all the little juicy goodness that we are going to share, just drop a systems below and we will get that over to you as well. So y'all, are you ready? We're going to dive in today about talking about systems. So if you're joining me, y'all, say hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. This is being a little wonky today, so I want to make sure that it's working great for us. So, all right. I've actually been having this conversation repeatedly, unfortunately, over and over again lately with clients and studio owners that I'm talking with, about what they need to do right now to actually make the biggest change for the fall, to create success for them. And what keeps coming up is I'm having a lot of studio owners and educators say, I really need to work on my systems because I feel like either everything's stuck up here, or I have some things, but I don't know that they're really efficient and working well. And so I thought, what a great topic for today. So let me know in the comments below, where are you right now with when you think of systems? Do you think everything's living up in my brain and I have a system, it's just I'm the only one who knows it, and so I follow my own system? That's a 1, right? Because it's just you, 1, right? Are you a 2 where you actually have some handbook maybe, or some systems typed out, or videoed, or how are you holding systems? If you have some in place already that you would be able to hand over to me today to do something for you, do you have those all in place? That would be a 2, right? So a 1 is living all up here. A 2 is I've got some systems in place and I can hand them off and delegate. Or 3, this is a third one. A 3 would be I have a few systems. For example, I might have my enrollment process all documented and down and ready to go, but I really want to work on my curriculum system, or I might want to work on my teacher training program and that system, right? So that would be a 3. You have a few, but you don't necessarily have all of them in place. I want to know. And even if you come back in on the replay, I want to know that as well, because then that way we can continue the conversation. We know what time of year it is right now, and it's super crazy. And I had so many people message me, Erin, can I have the replay? Because it's recital weekend, yes, which is so exciting for so many. But also, we know what time of year it is. So even if you come back on the replay, I want to know that as well. And we can continue this conversation no matter if you come back later today, this weekend, or the beginning of next week. I always jump back in and answer any questions or continue the conversation as we can go. So the first thing is to assess, well, let's get a little bit honest about where our systems are living. Are they living up here? Are they out there? Do you have a system that you could pass off and delegate, right? So that's going to be step one for y'all. We need to do a little quick assessment, a review, an audit of where am I living right now? Am I living in the space that's everything's living in my head? Because here's what tends to happen is if your systems are just living in your brain, in your head, we tend to live in a place of being reactive instead of proactive all the time. And overwhelm happens there. Unfortunately, overwhelm happens there. And so this is where we need to do a little assessment and say, hey, where are we at with this? Right? And even if you don't have any systems documented yet, that's okay, because we're going to be committed to changing that. And there's a lot of reasons why we want to document all of our systems, right? There's so many reasons why. And so let me see, I'm going to go in here, if y'all don't mind. I'm going to double check on my other screen, because for whatever reason, it's so silly here. It is not showing me any comments. So let me know. Let me know, you guys. I'm like, okay, I'm getting some like hearts, likes, loves. I'm not sure. It's popping those up to me. But if you have left me a comment, I'm sorry, I haven't answered it because it's like not giving it to me. So I'll come back and I'll check those. Technology, y'all. So guys, leave me a comment. I want to see if I can see it. That would make my heart so happy. Y'all, that would make my heart so happy. Okay. Let me know where you're coming from. So then that way I know that it is working for us. I'm going to go on here and say, here we go. All right. So let's see if it works now. I think it's going to. Well, I posted a comment. So if you're joining me, say, hey, what's up? So I know that you're here. Oh, okay. So we need to do an audit and assess where our systems are living. That's step one. Step two then is to identify, okay, what is going to be a system that I want to hand off to somebody else? Let's start there. So if that system is your enrollment system, start there. Start with what you think is going to free up the most time freedom for you. It's going to allow you to grow, right? And I do believe there are certain 5 key systems that every studio owner should have inside of their studio. But here's the thing. Sometimes when we think about creating our systems, it can feel totally overwhelming. It can be totally overwhelming because it feels like this huge elephant, right? Trying to, it's just an overwhelming task. But how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, y'all. So we have to pick one system. And I don't want to say it doesn't matter which system you start with, but what I will say is just getting started and taking action is a huge deal. Now, I'm guilty of this, so there's no judgment here, y'all. But let me know in the comments, how many of you have maybe had a process in place or a system in place, and It all seemed like it was going fairly well. And then you see a bright, shiny new tool, right? Like a new CRM system, a new, um, a new Canva feature, a new, right? Doesn't matter what it is, but you see this bright new shiny thing and you're like, oh, I really want to try that because I think it'll probably make my life easier. Let me know in the comments. I'm guilty of it. I mean, sometimes I think the grass is greener on the other side. And so maybe I leave my own lawn and I go to the other lawn and I realize, number one, I've let my lawn die. And two, the grass is only greener on the other side because it was being watered, it was being nourished. Do y'all get where I'm going with this? And so sometimes we might see a new shiny object or tool and we use it, we jump in head first. And the truth of the matter is that we abandon our system that we actually had in place, and we're not any better off by using this shiny new tool, CRM, system, whatever. I've been there. I've done it. And so I know it happens. And what I've come to learn is that sometimes we do need to shake up our systems, like with our CRM or, with something we're doing because it just isn't a great fit. Maybe it's clunky. Maybe it's not working for you. Maybe it doesn't have the functions and features that you want. But we have to be mindful of how we transition into either A, using that tool solely, or B, using it in conjunction with what we've been doing before, right? So we don't let our own grass die. Did that make sense to y'all? I don't know. Let me know. Right? I've also been getting a lot of questions about Erin. Okay, like my systems have been living up in my brain. And I know that has to change. So how do I change that? And of course, I share with my clients exactly what we need to do to get their systems rolling. And so what I've decided to do for y'all, and let me know if you'd be interested. I was thinking I would share my super secret ninja trick that allows you to make and create your systems easily, effectively, simple and sustainable systems that work without making it feel like it's this whole extra overwhelming task. Would y'all be interested in that? Let me know, because I've been getting some requests on that, and I was thinking about, I would be willing to do a little free training on how my little secret ninja hack on how to make that happen. That doesn't have to take up a whole bunch of time of your life to create these systems. So let me know below if you want information on that. Drop a systems below, and we will make sure to send you some information on if I'm going to do a free training on that or not. Y'all know I love to come in and share some of my hacks that have worked really well for me. And so if that interests you and you know that refining your systems, creating new systems, taking those systems and handing them off is really where you want to go to over the summer and next fall, then I definitely want to support you with that. So let us know where you're at. Is it a 1, all your systems are living in your brain? Number 2, you have some systems documented and you're able to hand them off. Or 3, you have a few systems, but you know you need some more and you want a little support with that. That's number 3. So 1, 2, or 3, where you're at with systems and how they're working for you. And so let's do our audit. Number 1, of where you're at and where they're living. The second spot is to really take a look at, okay, if I were to just pick one thing that I want to focus on for systems this month, in the next 4 weeks, what would it be? What's coming up for you that you really would like to refine, right? I have some clients right now that are working on their creating their lesson plan system and their curriculum for summer. So, and that's coming up. So that's their number one focus because that's what's coming up for them. I have some clients who say, Erin, I really want to refine my enrollment process. I feel like there are gaps and we are, leaking out and losing leads. And so filling summer camps. Yes. Oh my gosh, where are like my pom-poms and all my things? Yes, filling summer camps. Okay. So we have to pick our number one thing that we want to focus on right now. And we need to be documenting, refining the process as we go. So filling summer camps, enrollment strategy and systems, right? What does that look like? That's what we need to focus on. So while one of my clients might be working on curriculum, another might be working on enrollment processes and filling summer camps. Another might be working on creating a new staff training system because they're getting ready to onboard some new staff and they really want to streamline the process and make sure that everyone is getting the same training and the same processes and know exactly what's expected of them. So that might be what they're working on because they're taking on new staff over the summer for training, so they will be ready and good to go for fall, right? So what is it that you are working on right now that you could actually, in conjunction, turn into your system that makes sense for all, right? So that's the second thing, is knowing what it is. And then it's taking action. And so if you want some more support in how to create these systems, because that's a little bit longer and in-depth than our time today, right? But I do have some super secret ninja hacks to share with y'all and how we created systems easily inside of our businesses. And so if you're wanting in on that, let me know below with the systems below, and me and my team will reach out to you and get you all the information on joining us for that free training on how to create simple and sustainable systems in your studio that create more time, more freedom, and more money, y'all, because let's get with it, right? We all need to make more money because we can do more for ourselves, for our friends and family, and for our community when we create more income and revenue inside of our businesses. I believe that is absolutely a ripple effect, and we can do more if we're not poor, right? So now I want to share something with you guys. So systems. I need to know how you feel about systems. How do you feel about them? Do they give you like anxiety thinking about them? Do you not know where to start with them? How to get organized? I know that could be a really big struggle. So how are you feeling and where are you at? Because I think most of us know we need systems in our studio and in our businesses. We need systems. We need procedures and ways of operating. We need them. But I had someone tell me the other day, well, I'm a creative and I feel stifled by systems. I said, really? Really? I'm a creative too, y'all. We need systems, though. We need them. And now I want to tell you guys one of the biggest, actually, there's quite a few reasons, but one of the biggest reasons that you need systems is it streamlines things. I have so many studio owners who come to me when we first start working together and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm working 50 hours, 60 hours a week, and I'm still not getting everything done and and all the things. And I'm like, well, let's dive into what you're doing. How are you organizing your day? What systems do you have in place to make yourself more efficient and leverage your time? Because the truth is we all have 24 hours in a day. But it's how do we use that? And what I typically find out is that the people who are working all of these hours and never get everything done and are feeling like they're burning the candle at both ends, it's because they do not have systems in place and a structure and a schedule in place to keep them on task and keep them running efficiently. They're trying to bounce back and forth through all the different things, and it does not work. And that is why you're running ragged, working a million hours, and feel like you're getting nowhere all the time. So this is why systems are so important. And if you're thinking, Erin, I get it. I know they're important. I just don't have time to do them. Then you need to come to this free training because I'm going to show you how it's not going to take you hardly any time at all, actually, to do them and to create something as a jumping off point, at least to start with. And then you can go through and refine it as you start to hand it off to somebody else, and they might find gaps that you might have overlooked. But you need systems because, heaven forbid, something happened to you. Things don't stop. And if you don't mind, I want to tell you a little story real quick. Because some of you who've been here with me for a while, you know that my father, he was diagnosed with leukemia. It all happened really, really fast. He was admitted to the hospital immediately. We only had a few weeks left with him, and before he passed away. And thank goodness he kind of had systems and this if I die file kind of in place for us to take over his business and keep things going even though he was gone, because there were employees who had worked for him for, oh my goodness gracious, 15 years, some, like a long time. And if everything had only lived up here for him, we wouldn't have been able to continue the business on and to make sure that they could continue on, that they felt secure in their job and their position and for their families. But what a mess it would have been if there were no systems in place. And I don't want this to ever be the situation for you. So there's that. So yeah, I have a if I die file, y'all. I do. And the other part to this is, so there's that, right? And like, it doesn't have to be that extreme. It could be something like, hey, something happens and you need to take a couple of days or a couple of weeks off, or maybe you decide that you want to take a 8-week maternity leave. Well, that doesn't happen if you don't have systems in place and somebody who you can hand it off to who knows what they're doing because you've taken the time to create those systems. The other thing is, hear me out, y'all. One day you might decide that you don't want to own your studio anymore and you want to sell because you've created something beautiful and magical inside of your studio and you know how valuable it is and what it could be worth to somebody else. But here's the thing, if you have no systems in place, it's not very valuable. And I want you to think about, why do people buy franchises? People buy franchises and pay that money because the systems are there in place and it could be easily done, copy, rinse, repeat over and over again because the systems are done and in place for them. So if you can create those, if you can create all the systems, create your SOPs, your business becomes so much more valuable to potential buyers. And I know you might be thinking, Erin, I would never sell. Never say never. And set yourself up for success in the event that one day you want to. or you need to for health reasons or for whatever, right? And so even though systems might not be like a sexy thing, like, oh, I've got systems all set in my business, right? There is nothing sexier than systems in place that keep your business running efficiently and effectively. And so, y'all, I know I've kind of gone on today, but I want you to know that we're here to support you. And if you are feeling stuck in creating systems, then you need to come join us for this free training. And all you have to do is drop the word systems below, and we will get you all the info to know. I'm going to share with you. I'm not holding anything back. This is going to be me sharing with you my hacks, my tips, how we did it easily and efficiently, because I truly believe in simple is sustainable. It doesn't have to be overly complicated, but it does have to be something that you can pass off to somebody else and make sense to them, even if you're not there. So I'm going to leave you all there for today. I will be back next Wednesday, same time, same place, different topic. But every week we talk about dance studio owners, business strategy, mindset. We lean into joy and gratitude because, y'all, what we do is so important. And I know this time of year, we can feel very worn down, but then we have this beautiful gift that's given to us, or we get to have that big prize at the end, which is a beautiful recital, families whose hearts and parents whose hearts are full, kids who are feeling fulfilled. And that's the reward that gets us through and keeps us going. And so I want you to know that you guys keep on keeping on. It's been hard, but you've got this. And you are making magic inside of your communities. And that's important. So I'm going to leave y'all there. I hope that you have a fantastic week, no matter if your recitals this weekend, next week, 3 weeks from now. I know that you guys are going to do great things, and we're also going to get those systems in place so you can set yourself up for success for the future. So I'm going to leave you there. Have a fantastic day, my friends, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.